people are very scared about going back to their homes. People who were forced to leave their homes, and
we are witnessing them burning our houses. We're so helpless.
It's really dark, and people do not see any hope. Everywhere we see people protesting, and they are holding banners saying that where is the chief minister, and the missing chief minister, missing ministers, missing MLAs. One question they had was, the government says it has arrested a few people who were in the mob, but they have not taken action against even one single police officer who refused to help us. There has to be justice done to these people. When a mother loses her husband and her son, and her daughter has been traumatized, there should be some justice done. A lot of anger against the government, the union government and the state government. There's a lot of anger among people. You can clearly understand that there is a lack of political will to bring this conflict to an end. Today it looks like government has just let them fend for themselves and do what you want.
Hello and welcome to the News Minute. For the past 90 days, Manipur is seeing violence, witnessing violence. There are at least 160 people dead and 60,000 people internally displaced. The India Alliance MP had recently visited Manipur, and they have also submitted a memorandum to the governor of Manipur, as well as they have also submitted a memorandum to the President of India about the situation that is there in Manipur. To talk about this, I have with me Kanimozhi Karunanidhi, member of Lok Sabha. Thank you so much for talking to us, ma'am. Ma'am, you were part of the delegation that visited Manipur along with the other MPs belonging to the India Alliance. Tell us, what did you see there? What is the current situation, both in Kuki areas as well as in the valley, ma'am?
We actually went to Manipur and visited the camps there. 3 different camps, and we spoke to many people also there. And contrary to what people have been saying, it's not true that there's normalcy which is there, because everywhere you see people protesting, and people sitting in dharna, especially women and students protesting. And there are sporadic incidents of violence also. Even when we went to visit the Vishnupur camp, on the way back, we saw people protesting, and when we stopped and asked them what happened, they said there was an incident of a firing over there. As we were crossing. So normalcy has not returned, and people are very scared about going back to their homes. People who were forced to leave their homes and go to safety, and they're very scared. And a lot of women have had to face, from all groups, have had to face violence, sexual harassment, and so many people have lost their lives. We met mothers who lost children, and it's really dark, and people do not see any hope. And everywhere we see people protesting, and they are holding banners saying that where is the chief minister, and the missing chief minister, missing ministers, missing MLAs. So they are very angry that they feel let down by the government.
Ma'am, what is the sense that you got when you visited Manipur? You visited various areas, like you said, you visited 3 camps. Is the government doing enough to bring back normalcy in Manipur, ma'am? Because the government says that they are doing everything possible to ensure that the cycle of violence in Manipur is brought to an end. But do you feel that that there is something that the government is doing there?
No, just let me give you an example. When we met, a few of us met the women who we saw in those viral videos, and one question they had was, the government says it has arrested a few people who were in the mob, but they have not taken action against even one single police officer who refused to help us and actually, let us, gave us up to the mob because they had a gypsy, they could have driven us away in that and saved us. But they refused to do us that, and they gave us to the mob and fled from that place. So, what action has the government taken against these policemen? So, if the government is not even prepared to do some, not even suspend these policemen, then how can we say that the government is really doing everything it can to bring back normalcy? Because people have been affected, their lives have been affected, they've lost lives, injured. There has to be justice done to these people. When a mother loses her husband and her son and her daughter has been traumatized, there should be some justice done for people to have some faith in the government and the system. Nothing has been done. And how can we say that the government is doing everything to bring back normalcy and they're not talking to anybody?
And
And
ma'am,
can
when you interacted with these survivors or victims of violence, what is the sense that that is prevailing among them? What are they saying? Because, like you said, that the demand for justice is something which is growing there, and that is something that has been the key issue here. The government is looking the other way. The state government is looking the other way. The union government does not want to, they don't want to be seen doing something in Manipur. So, what exactly is the sentiment that is prevailing on ground, ma'am, among the victims there?
a lot of anger against the government, the union government and the state government. There's a lot of anger among people. I'm not saying which group, because across the camps, you can see a lot of anger is there because they feel very let down, and they think the government, if it had done enough, it could have stopped this violence. And because police stations were attacked and weapons were taken from there. When it happened in one police station, you could have ensured that it doesn't happen in other places. But it was like they were giving away the weapons. How did people, come to possess so much of weapons? I mean, what was the government doing? When people were, getting weapons from the police stations, and there is a lot of anger, and students like medical college students have been protesting, and because they can't go back to their colleges, and there's an internet ban for more than 3 months, and they can't even have online classes, so they're going to lose the entire year. So there is anger, and the camps are in a pathetic state. There's not enough food. One camp we visited, when it was raining, there was water coming inside the camp, and there are children there. So it
And
is really bad.
And you also met the governor, ma'am. What did the governor say? Because remember, the governor had also given an interview to a private TV channel in which she said that she has never seen, such violence, such large-scale violence, such unprecedented violence. When the governor itself is saying that, then one can understand what is the situation on ground. So, when you met the governor, did she say that she has conveyed whatever is happening on ground to the union government and the home ministry?
I think she has conveyed, and she has been visiting camps. She has been visiting people. So she's also very concerned about what is happening there, and she also wanted us to talk about these issues and make sure that people, representatives of different groups, are invited to Delhi, and the government has a discussion with them, and they try to find a permanent solution for this conflict.
And how much of it is, has intensified the situation? The Prime Minister's silence.
The Prime Minister has not said one word about. Okay, he chose to speak to the press outside Parliament on the day Parliament started. The session started, and he only spoke about the videos. He did not talk about the violence in Manipur and the conflict. There was not a word about all that. Until today, the Prime Minister is silent about what happened in Manipur. Obviously, when something like this happens, the Chief Minister is not there on the ground and he is not trying to talk to people, you can clearly understand that there is a lack of political will to bring this conflict to an end.
And why do you think so that there is lack of political will?
If there is political will, people's representatives are the ones who have to be on the ground and reaching out to people, telling them that they are with them, and making sure that they're comfortable. Even if they're in camps, they're comfortable. They'll be talking to leaders of groups and trying to make sure that people have faith and confidence in the government. But today it looks like government has just let them fend for themselves and do what you want.
And also, ma'am,
That's the
particularly,
message. I mean, I can when we spoke to people, that is what people are saying, that they just let us to the mercy of each other, and it doesn't look like the government really cares about what is happening to us.
ma'am, also about sexual violence being used as a tool in this conflict. This is something that has concerned a lot of people. The victims have approached the Supreme Court. The Supreme Court has also raised a barrage of questions in this matter. The manner in which this was allowed to happen there, one, and after the incident, the way in which the government responded to this entire matter, this clearly shows that the government has failed on multiple fronts, ma'am. And even government organizations like the NCW or even other organizations at the state level, all of them seems to have all of them are looking the other way till the video came out in public and triggered a lot of outrage.
No, it was like they were wishing it away, the whole incident. And there was an FIR which was filed and no action was taken after that. The Women's Commission, the State Women's Commission knew about it. The Union Women's Commission, National Women's Commission knew about it. Nobody took any action. Nobody even bothered to, find out what happened to these women, how they are. Nothing. It just shows that one thing we've been always saying is that when you instigate hatred among communities, when you use this hate for political reasons, and when there is a conflict, when it leads to such conflicts between religious communities or ethnic differences are aggravated and they're fueled to become a conflict like this, it is always the women and the children who get affected the most, and in such harsh, violent ways the most. So, a country which cares about its citizens cannot afford to fuel hate. And we've seen the statements before this conflict of the Chief Minister of Manipur. I mean, it was targeted clearly at some minority communities. Calling them, saying that they don't belong to India, and saying that they're having illegal occupations, and saying things which are very, very unfair and irresponsible. So I think we have to be responsible citizens and responsible politicians. It's just not an election which is important. You cannot divide the country.
Ma'am, apart from the Prime Minister's silence, questions are also being asked as to what exactly is the president doing about it. BJP was a party that proudly said that we have a woman president and Nari Shakti, Beti Bachao, Beti Padhao, and all these things. And the same question is being asked of the president as well. That why is she quiet when things like this are happening in Manipur, where women are sexually assaulted, women are sexually violated, and there is a violence that is being unleashed against women and children in this conflict. You met
Today,
her. What did
yes,
she say?
she said she's also concerned and she will take it up. And only in the hope that because she is a woman and we believe that she is the only other person we can appeal to because the Prime Minister does not want to come to Parliament, or does he want to address issues which he does not choose to address. No, we have no choice but to go to the President of the country and hope that we believe and hope that she will take it up and she will do something about it. Because the Supreme Court is also very concerned about what is happening, and time and again, they've expressed their concern in very strongly worded statements. So I hope she will reflect that.
Okay. Ma'am, also, Tirumavalavan, after visiting Manipur, made an observation that, for him, it looked like he was visiting two different states, two different countries, when he was going to the hills and when he was going to the valleys, hill districts and the valley. Did you also get the same kind of sense that it's totally divided and this divide is deep in Manipur?
There is a lot of hurt, there is a lot of mistrust, there is a lot of deep rooted wounds which will take time to heal. And I think the government is doing nothing even to start that process. So I really think that unless people are brought together, unless they I mean, you should have people should have some faith in the government that it will protect whoever it is. If when people lose that, then the conflicts and the rifts become wider because they know they have to protect themselves, and the government is not going to do anything.
Right, ma'am. Thank you so much for talking to us. We will also keep a close watch on the developments in Manipur, and I'll also get in touch with you again if there are any developments on this Manipur issue, ma'am. Thank you.